get up and we learn to grow. We move on. We live. And we thank God for always giving us another chance. Nobody is perfect. We all make mistakes. We say wrong things. We do wrong things. We fall. We get up and we learn to grow. We move on. We live. And we thank God for always giving us another chance. Nobody is perfect. We all make mistakes. We say wrong things. And the truth is,
she canceled on me. She said she has a gut instinct feeling that we're not well.
That is so Israeli. That is so...
And 5 days.
In a general context or an e-commerce context?
Both.
So in terms of two things, instead of maintaining like X search and graph, then you just maintain graph. It's just what you...
Yeah, I mean, like literally everything that in the beginning, all these measures and first aid measures, they were literally all.
We have like a lot of different ethnicities. He is an Aramean, like Assyrian, Suryoyo. Are you Ashuri or Suryoyo?
Arabic.
Okay. I never met Aramean.
What? Aramean, not Aramean. Oh my god.
Aramean, whatever.
No,
Yeah, Aramean. Not Armenian, I know.
I'm saying,
Okay. It's Aramean.
Aramean. It's not called Armenian. It's Aramean. Yeah.
No, I didn't mean Armenian.
Yeah. Well, they speak Aramaic. There's different type of dialects in the Aramaic language.
And we can say we have changed Germany over.
And
frankly, the only people that I see agree with the blasphemy, the only people that disagree about burning Qurans and that think that it's awful and everything like that, it's mostly the Assyrians. They have the same view about Christianity that the Muslims do about Islam.
Are you Somali?
No, I'm Swedish.
Okay, are you for Palestine?
Want your cookie?
She canceled on me.
two things, instead of maintaining...
ordered once the 4 gates.
Take specialist, it would mean that you're very targeted towards one specific thing. So if you want to target something so general,
I've been through too much, so I don't like expressing. Tell you one thing.
Eternal life does not leave him, and he becomes again as a child. Whosoever knows his purity and guards his weakness is an example to the world. If he is an example to the world, eternal life does not leave him, and he returns. If he is the gorge of the Whosoever does not cherish his teachers and does not love his subject matter, for all his knowledge he would be in grave error. This is the great secret. Whosoever knows his maleness and guards his femaleness, he is the gorge of the world. If whosoever does not cherish what the ancients said, that which is half shall become full, is truly not an empty phrase. All true completeness is summed up in it. Use words sparingly, then all things will fall into place. A whirlwind does not last a whole morning. What the ancients said, that which is half shall become full, is truly not an empty phrase. All true completeness is summed up in it. Use words sparingly, then all things will fall into place. A whirlwind does not last a whole morning. What the ancients said, that which is half shall become full, is truly not an empty phrase. All true completeness is summed up in it. Use words sparingly, then all things will fall into place. A whirlwind does not last a whole morning. What the ancients said, that which is half shall become full, is truly not an empty phrase. All true completeness is summed up in it. Use words sparingly, then all things will fall into place. A whirlwind does not last a whole morning. What the ancients said, that which is half shall become full, is truly not an empty phrase. All true completeness is summed up in it. Use words sparingly, then all things will fall into place. A whirlwind does not last a whole morning. What the ancients said, that which is half shall become full, is truly not an empty phrase. All true completeness is summed up in it. Use words sparingly, then all things will fall into place. A whirlwind does not last a whole morning. What the ancients said, that which is half shall become full, is truly not an empty phrase. All true completeness is summed up in it. Use words sparingly, then all things will fall into place. A whirlwind does not last a whole morning. What the ancients said, that which is half shall become full, is truly not an empty phrase. All true completeness is summed up in it. Use words sparingly, then all things will fall into place. A whirlwind does not last a whole morning. What the ancients said, that which is half shall become full, is truly not an empty phrase. All true completeness is summed up in it. Use words sparingly, then all things will fall into place. A whirlwind does not last a whole morning. What the ancients said, that I watch your eyes as
Okay, I'm gonna chant some stoic meditation here, and hope you enjoy it. I'm gonna create some clips, I guess. All right, wait, my headphones. What up, Craig? I'm gonna create some clips on here for YouTube. I'm gonna make an espresso real quick. Be right back. Listen to this. This is.
Can no longer rely on exploiting cheap foreign labor. Now they have to appeal directly to you and offer you a solution. They have to come to you at terms that you will agree to, because they can't undermine you with practically illiterate, non-English speaking individuals who are purposefully bussed into your cities by the governors who claim to be defending the law that they're swore an oath to uphold and defend. What happens if we go and clean house and we take all the people who violated the law to be here? We would approach a glorious, prosperous, beautiful future. And that's a guarantee. That was an absolute goddamn guarantee that you can take to the bank. And you'll have a bank that'll have real assets, real commodity-backed money, when you disallow the exploitation of immigrant populations, when you consistently and uniformly enforce the law. And when you consistently and uniformly enforce the law, everyone who is being hurt by the law, who understands that it's gonna like if I you know, I don't know if you people have children. I mean, I'm shocked to see how many people don't have children or have never trained an animal. If you inconsistently enforce anything with a child, you will create a little tyrannical monster that is uncontrollable, that is unpredictable, and that will always be a struggle. But if you simply consistently apply rewards and punishment, if you consistently and uniformly enforce the law with a dog, with a human being, with a child, you will get consistent results. And yes, sometimes those consistent results are that your child has now become your enemy, that animal is now your enemy, because it does not agree with the terms you've set, with the law that you've set. But at least there is principle. And now the individuals know who are the enemies and who are the allies. It is in the gray area, where the law is only selectively enforced, that we are all made victims and exploited by our indecisiveness, by our ignorance, our inability to discern truth. Because we never know where the law might be enforced, and maybe the law doesn't really exist. And then the next thing you know, the ATF is knocking on your door, and your neighbors aren't doing anything to stop them, but your neighbors told you that they believed in the Second Amendment. What are you doing? They're taking me away. Because I better pretend that I don't have the right to keep and bear arms. I lost my guns in a boating accident. That's what happens. Nothing bad. Only good can possibly come from consistently and uniformly enforcing the law.
Can I just go back to the purposes of like what our founding fathers did, or what our fathers did, or what all generations of fathers do in all countries playing this global game strategy of, you know, security, what you could say is domination. But the point is that, you know, your father is supposed to educate you in the law, in love, in prosperity, in English, how to use weapons, how to learn and defend your Constitution, to take ownership and personal responsibility for the dilemma. You know, George Bush can snicker and laugh when Trump says he's going to release who killed Kennedy, you know, and that's the first thing my father texted me. I can't wait to find out who killed Kennedy, because for him in his life, he was born in 46, when he witnessed that was his 9/11 moment. You know, from JFK to 9/11 to the COVID-19 zabs, these are connected events, and there is a deep-rooted conspiracy in this country, which is essentially needs to be, you know, there needs to be a light shined on these truths. And if Trump doesn't open up the floodgates of that truth, we will continue living in a mass deception, in my opinion.
I gotta disagree with the idea that we should rely in any way, shape, or form on Donald Trump to shine a light on anything.
Yeah, they put shrimps on treadmills. Yep, that's the thing. I mean, I just want to put it out there that money on cat massages might have been well spent. Yeah, take it from Laura Cat.
Rarely add coins at all. I confronted. Rarely add coins at all. some alternate explanations? What are some alternate explanations for this behavior among ultra-Orthodox Jewish communities?
You hear the weirdest and funniest shit on this app. Okay, we're gonna create some clips here. We're about to get through the Tao Te Ching. I hope you enjoy it. I'm doing 15-second snips now. I'm not doing anything over 15 seconds. Gonna stay short and create a lot of volume. Therefore the poet has these words: the clear Tao appears to be dark. The Tao of progress appears as retreat. The smooth Tao appears to be rough. The highest life appears as a valley. The highest purity appears as shame. Therefore the poet has these words. And so I was also thinking about, like, when is the best time to record these videos? And I was thinking you do like a small amount in the morning, like 20% in the morning, 80% in the afternoon. Because I know people who, you know, are big into YouTube that do make money, and I mean, they're scheduling how they coordinate it with, I suppose, their life routines is an interesting question. But if you really want to be disciplined on distribution, I mean, the time that you release based on peak internet usage is, I think, something to always be aware of. And I was thinking about that yesterday. Okay, here we go. The broad life appears to be insufficient. The strong life appears to be stealthy. The true essence appears to be changeable. The great quadrant has no corners. The great instrument is completed late. The great tone has an inaudible. Broad life appears. The great instrument is completed late. The great tone has an inaudible sound. The great image has no form. Tao in its seclusion has no name, and yet it is precisely Tao that is good at giving and completing. Tao generates the one generates the instrument is Therefore the poet has these words: the clear Tao appears to be dark. The Tao of progress appears as retreat. The smooth Tao appears to be rough. The highest life appears as a valley.
Heedless of right turn, each to his own way, he had a heart fired with ambition and strife and straining another.
Value. It's a little vaguer in the Synoptic Gospels, but if you read the Gospel of John,
Tao generates the one generates the two generates the three generates all things of darkness at the back and strive towards the light, and the flowering power gives them harmony. What men hate is forlornness. Tao generates the one generates the two generate.
things of darkness at their back and strive towards the light, and the flowing power gives them harmony. What men hate is forlornness, loneliness being a trifle, and yet princes and kings choose these to describe themselves. For all things of dark. What men hate is forlornness, loneliness being a trifle, and yet princes and kings choose these to describe themselves. For things are either increased through diminution or diminished through increase. I too teach what others teach. The strong do not die a natural death. This I will make the departure point of forlornness. Clips are basically bits. That would be a good name for a startup. Bits. Because bits is what happens when you chew. Chewing it to bits. What is forlornness, loneliness being a trifle, and yet princes and kings choose these to describe themselves. For things are either increased through diminution or diminished through increase. I too teach what others teach. The strong do not die in that.
If anybody actually does want to come, you can definitely meet me in Dallas or something and drive down with me.
Even when he has all the glory before his eyes, he remains satisfied in his loneliness. How much less may the Lord of the realm take the world lightly in his persona? By taking it lightly, one loses the root through restlessness.
Forgiving people in silence and choosing never to talk to them again. It's not about anger or holding a grudge. It's about self-care. It's about letting go of the weight they left behind without reopening the door to more pain. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. Forgiving people in silence and choosing never to...
Oh boy.
Lone it stands and does not change, it turns in a circle and does not endanger itself. One may call it the mother of the world, I do not know its name, I call it thou, painfully giving it